So she is wearing a continuous glucose monitor on her arm, an insulin pump on her waist, and she even carries a T1D supply bag, just like so many kids do every day.
And I noticed that she also has the blue dot that represents diabetes awareness.
So glad you noticed that. We have all the details in, and we even partnered with Breakthrough T1D. They are the leading global type 1 diabetes research and advocacy organization. We even work with kids and community members to make sure we got every detail right.
I'm on my way to surprise Nadia and Mia, two amazing girls I met through Breakthrough T1D.
Oh, that's so cool. I have two younger siblings, and every day we play like Barbies with each other. So
I love the grift, like the cash that needs to flow to undeserving people. What exactly do you mean raise awareness about diabetes? Like, it's not some mysterious thing that the world doesn't know. Your kid grows up with type 1 diabetes. It needs insulin. Like, the moment the kid is born and the doctor diagnoses him, that's your raising of awareness. That's when you know. And I'm pretty sure like every single person on planet Earth is aware that their kids or their grandkids can end up with diabetes. So again, like I generally don't understand this raising of awareness. Not to mention I already pay taxes. I already feed the hungry medical industrial complex so that it can produce the insulin. Right? Like, all of this is corporate virtue signaling. The reality is that most kids don't even play with dolls in these ways. Like I remember when I was a kid, you know, I had the doll. You know how I would play with the Barbie? It was more like, oh no, Ken, you ran over Barbie. You decapitated her. Ken, watch out, the police are coming. But luckily, Ken has an assault rifle. Ken is shooting the police officers. The police officers lob a grenade at Ken. Oh my goodness, the carnage. Oh, horrible. That's how I would play when I was a kid. If you want to play like that, you're fucked in the head. You are wrong. You missed your childhood. Okay? That's the proper way to play with Barbies. No, seriously, I was horrifying my parents. Oh, the decapitated dolls. Oh, he's going to end up being a serial killer. I was fine. They were hysterical, okay? Like, society failed to understand me. I grew up as a pillar of the community. All jokes aside, though, is this thing actually good? I guess, you know, like, maybe out there, some children that have, like, type 1 diabetes see a doll and it's like, look, this one is just as sick as me. You know? It's like, okay, fine. Most kids probably won't appreciate it. The main consumer base are probably going to be the parents. Diabetes is not something that people genuinely give a shit about unless they have it. The reason I know this is that if they genuinely cared, they would wage an actual war against the food industrial complex. Like, they would be horrified at the number of chemicals and sugars that are being put into our food. Yeah, that would be like the number one target. But since it's not, and since people not only like to gorge themselves, but also justify the gorging, and we have like fat is beauty and fat is acceptance, I conclude that most people probably don't give a shit about diabetes. Or if they do, they have a very funny way of showing it. So yeah, like the way I care about diabetes is by paying my taxes. Most people that I know have never made fun of someone that has diabetes. This is not going to be received by the kids in the way you're expecting. Like a perfect example of this is right here, right? And look at this as a perfect example, right? We got the type 1 diabetes warriors. Warriors. I'm curious, like, who the general is and how many battles did they want. But look how unimpressed is this girl. Just look at her facial expression. Does this look like a happy child to you? It doesn't look like a happy child to me. Who's the only one that's actually excited about this? Oh, it's the kid who's already too old to play with dolls, right? Because this is not a toy for kids, it's a toy for adults. Look how progressive I am. Look at how the corporation is virtue signaling. Isn't this corporation amazing? Isn't it in tune with the medical industrial complex? And so this is why you get to see this reaction from the comment section. Like, everyone is doing this reaction because people are jaded, okay? That's pretty much what this is about. Like, people have stopped believing that these corporations mean well, or that there's any kind of empathy or compassion or understanding in the toy industry. people have become, especially Gen Z, has become so cynical, so jaded, that even if this, by some sheer chance, was a genuine person that, maybe they have a kid with diabetes and they want to create a doll for kids with diabetes, no one will believe them. Like, congratulations, social justice. For the last 6 or 7 years, you have managed to wokeify society to a level where people see that what you're saying is completely different than what you're doing. And so now, even if you were to have an actual company that genuinely tried to do something, it would still be perceived as rainbow capitalism, performative nonsense, some way to launder some money from one place to another. And the other thing that I noticed no one is asking is, like, why does she look like Ken? Like, look at her face, huh? Am I wrong? Like, if you pop the head, like, bloop, and you put it on a Ken doll, bloop, wouldn't it fit? Especially, like, if you cut the hair. Like, look, if you cut the hair all the way up until here, and then you just look at the face, it kind of looks like a Ken doll. Is this how greedy corporations are, that they can't just design a face for Barbie and a face for Ken? Like, they need to be interchangeable now? Anyway, right, as I mentioned, this went viral. A lot of people are making fun of it, and I wanted to explain why. Because people are saying, oh, you're just selfish, you don't understand. No, people understand very well, but it's coming from a corporation. Like, I'm sorry, if it's coming from a corporation, probatio ad diabolica, like, we already assume they don't give a shit. We already assume that this is just a shameless rainbow capitalism marketing campaign. And I also don't think most kids would be pleased by this. Like, most kids don't get it. They don't play with dolls the same way that adults play. Like, concepts like representation, being seen, all that nonsense. Yeah, that's for teenagers and up. Definitely not for kids that still play with dolls. And it was called My Baby All Gone. It had a commercial on Cartoon Network. I mean, at the end of the day, obviously, that toy was probably unsanitary and whatever. But kids, especially girls, liked it. Because it was something new. It had a new level of creativity attached to it. Or I remember for boys, there was this 4x4 truck which had a remote control, and you could literally flip it. Like, it would spin around, it would bounce, and it would land upside down, and as it lands upside down, it looked like a different car. Like, that was the cool shit, like toys that actually had something new. Like, they tried to create something new. Nowadays, whenever a toy gets hyped is because of some social justice-y bullshit. It's always something like deep, like diabetes, genetical illnesses. Like, you're not going to make fun of those, right, you piece of shit? You're going to shut the fuck up and say that the corporation has done something remarkable, when, in fact, all they did is a PR campaign. By targeting something that most people aren't going to criticize, because if they do, they're afraid of being called out. But I personally am sick of it, especially as a parent. Like, I wish that the toy industry would be a little bit more interesting, especially when we live in the age of smartphones. Like, I don't want my kid to grow up with a smartphone, and so, like, I want the toys to actually be interesting. I want them to be more revolutionary. And so, like, if this is what you have, like, I'm actually worried that my kid will be like, I don't want to play with these level of toys. I want a smartphone. But regardless, let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in my live stream. There's a link to it into the pinned comment. Take care.